Welcome to the VA Matchmaker, your go-to show for everything virtual assistant and recruitment. If you're a VA looking to stand out or a recruiter on the hunt for top talent, you're in the right place. Let's match you with your perfect opportunity. Only here on the VA Radio. And now, please welcome our host.
Raining this past few weeks, and here on the VA Radio, of course, we're hoping we are all safe at maayos po lahat tayo sa ating mga locations. And welcome back sa the VA Matchmaker. It's been such a long time, pasensya na. But then again, I'm your host, Coach Nicole, and today, it's really a very bold, real, and, sometimes controversial topic na meron tayo ngayon, which is actually outsourcing virtual assistant tasks. So the question is here, is it really a smart delegation or is it a risky business? Right? So in the virtual assistant world, we all know it's been really happening for such a long time. Let me just go ahead and share my screen para naman ayan. So again, normal na to, no? If you've been in the virtual assistant world, normal na. You already have ideas about outsourcing tasks, right? So lately, it's really, again, medyo trending na rin sa mga ibang virtual assistant groups, as I've noticed myself, no? Kasi what is the normal process is actually, doing this outsourcing. Let's say you are a virtual assistant, okay? May client ka, and then you delegate, right? You delegate part of your workloads to other virtual assistants. Kasi the real process is clients, right? Those clients that we have, they're actually the one outsourcing their task to the virtual assistants. Di po ba? And then, yung ibang virtual assistants, they delegate or outsource. Yun po yung term natin dito. No? They outsource yung ibang mga task nila or yung ibang mga responsibilities nila sa iba namang virtual assistant. So, normally, nagiging tanong dito, is it really smart scaling, right? Or is it a recipe for disaster? Di po ba? So, our main objective, okay, let me just... So, our main objective is, of course, to explore, right? What it means when virtual assistants outsource their own client tasks. And let's say when agency owners or clients outsource the virtual assistants, right? Including pros, cons, and the real life examples, ethics, and of course, strategies, okay? So let's dive in already, everyone. So sabi dyan sa slide natin, what is outsourcing, right? What is outsourcing within the VA world, okay? Sabi dyan, outsourcing simply means handling over, right? A specific task, project, or part of your job to someone else to complete, right? So, pinapasa natin yung iba nating trabaho para yung iba yung gumawa, yung iba yung magkompleto nito para sa atin, right? So, let's say, kasi ngayon, traditionally, yung mga clients, sabi ko nga, yung clients natin, sila yung nag-outsource o nagpapasa ng mga ibang task sa atin, doon sa mga businesses nila, right? So, pero it's been happening such a long time na rin na VAs na marami ng clients, they delegate o nagkakaroon sila ng mga sub-virtual assistants. Okay po. Freelancers sometimes they outsource graphics, let's say emails or lead generation. Yung po yung ibang mga normal na ina-outsource na mga tasks. Let's say, I'll give you an example. You are a social media manager. Alam natin, being a social media manager, napakaraming task niyan, di ba? Posting, scheduling, graphics, contents, di po ba? Ngayon, yung ibang virtual assistants na social media managers, dahil nga po sa marami na silang tasks, okay, let's say, task lang yung marami, isa lang yung client nila. So, pag marami na silang task dito sa client na to, sometimes, they outsource na lang yung graphics. Right? Meron silang hinahanap na tao or graphic designer na gagawa ng graphics nila para mag-focus na lang sila, let's say, sa content creation or scheduling. So, para mabawasan yung mga load nila sa kanila. No? So, para mas makafocus sila sa mga ibang trabahong kailangan nilang gawin. Okay? So, Next, but then, tatanungin niyo ako, Coach, ano ba nga ang mga karaniwang reason? Bakit, no? Bakit maraming mga virtual assistants na nag-outsource, right? So, kasi dito sa atin, if you are a virtual assistant, minsan, since let's say part-time ka lang doon sa isa, no? And non-voice naman siya or walang calls, hindi ka require to use a phone. So, yung iba naiisip nila, okay, since part-time lang ako dito, hindi naman ako voice, open ako in getting another client. So, yung iba, multiple clients na talaga, 3, 4 clients all at the same time, right? Good morning, MJ. Good morning. Thank you so much for watching. So, ganon, no? So, may 3 to 4 clients ka na. Outsourcing is actually, they turn to that, virtual assistants turn to that because it's just actually a natural next step. Di po ba? Natural yun eh. Mag-outsource ka kasi ang dami mo ng clients, 4 yung clients mo, marami ka ng trabaho, i-outsource mo. Right? For your own growth na rin as well. Kasi mas makaka-focus ka sa iba mong task or ibang clients mo, no? But then, I'll provide you reasons kung bakit ba ang mga virtual assistants natin, lalo na yung maraming clients, they tend to outsource. Di po ba? Unang-una, too much work, not enough time. Di po ba? Ang dami na. Di ba? Una, dati part-time ka lang, 4 hours per day ka lang. Pero dahil nga kumuha ka ng maraming clients, yung 8 hours mo, working time mo, hindi na sapat. Kulang na. Right? Kasi marami ka ng trabaho. Right? Kulang na yung oras mo. So, kaya ka nag-outsource. Ipinapasa mo yung iba. Tinitingnan mo ano ba yung pwede mong ibigay sa iba, right? Para mabawasan ka, magkaroon ka at least ng a few minutes or let's say an hour or 2 para sa sarili mo, right? Na kahit na hindi mo gawin yon, may gumagawa na para sa'yo. So that's one reason. Next to that, it says their desire to keep all clients, not say no. No? Ito po, no, karaniwang ginagawa nga ng iba. Since sasabihin nila, kaya ko pa naman. Or nakikita nga nilang option yung outsourcing. Pwede ko naman tong i-outsource. Kukunin ko tong client na to. Right? So, nag-hoard sila ng client nila. And then, eventually, yun, i-outsource na lang nila. Pipiliin nila kung ano yung task na pwede nila ibigay sa iba. Right? Next, weakness in certain skill areas. Let's say na-interview sila ng isang client. Although they have, let's say, an experience o meron silang basic knowledge of a specific task. Let's say, graphic designing. Iniisip niya, marunong naman ako mag-design. Marunong akong gumamit ng Canva. Marunong akong gumamit ng Adobe. Right? Pero iniisip niya, hindi ako ganun kagaling. Right? Hindi pa ganun kagaling yung mga designs ko o yung ideas ko when it comes to executing. Pero kukunin ko tong client na to kasi pwede ko namang i-outsource yung graphic design. Right? So, yun yung pumapasok ko isip niya, sayang to eh. Diba? Eto na eh, binibigay na sa akin to eh. Diba? Gusto niya ng expert. Although basic lang ako, I can outsource yung graphic designing ko. So, kukunin ko siya. Right? Yun yung nangyayari. Next, burnout prevention. Ito na nga, sa dami ng clients mo, sa dami ng task mo, wala ka ng time sa sarili mo, wala ka ng time sa family mo, no work and life balance ka na, nababurnout ka na, nagsasawa ka na. Parang tuwing gigising ka, may shift ka, napapagod ka na agad. Di po ba? Sabi nga, makita mo pa lang yung monitor mo, pagod ka na. Parang ganun na nangyayari sa'yo. So, iniisip mo, para magkaroon naman ako ng time sa sarili ko, makalabas naman ako or whatnot, i-outsource ko na lang. Para yung time na ginagawa ko dapat to, ginagawa ng iba sa akin, I can do something else. Personal. Di po ba? Yun. Medyo nababurnout ka na, kaya ina-outsource mo na lang. Next is stepping into a leadership role. Let's say, iniisip mo na, pwede akong maging parang leader nito, itong sub-VA na kukunin ko. Kasi ako yung magtuturo sa kanya eh. Diba? Ako yung magtuturo sa kanya eh. So parang mapapractice ko how it is to have someone na ako yung magtuturo, ako yung magte-train, di po ba? So, lalo na if, let's say, very easy task, and then, let's say, ang makuha mo, ang gusto mong kunan is really yung mga wala pang experience. Parang tuturuan mo sila. Okay? That's also included on the reasons why virtual assistants really outsource. Next, lack of time management or system, yun na nga, somehow, it would fall also under those burnout, no? Na parang since yun nga, wala ka na, kapos ka na sa oras mo, sa araw-araw mo, kulang na yung 8 hours sa'yo. Dati, gusto mo pa, ngayon kulang na yung 8 hours mo. So, tsaka hindi mo na kayang ano talaga yung schedule mo, no? Hindi mo na kayang i-stretch pa or hindi mo na kayang mag-squeeze in pa ng other tasks. So, i-outsource mo na lang, right? So, actually, tatanungin mo ako, Coach, mali ba yun? I mean, hindi ba tama na mag-outsource ako? I mean, makakatulong ako sa iba. Especially those na walang clients, di po ba? Mabibigyan ko sila ng trabaho, mapapractice nila, magiging prepared sila once they land their own clients, right? Actually, everyone, outsourcing is really for growth, right? It's actually smart if it's for growth, right? But of course, it should come with structure, right? May structure din dapat yan kung mag-outsource ka. May contracts din, right? May onboarding ka rin, right? Kakausapin mo yung sa BA na kukunin mo. And of course, provide clear expectations. Kasi nga, since BA, they outsource their task to buy themselves time, nawawala na sila ng time para turuan, i-explain yung trabaho, what the client is actually expecting. Di po ba? Kasi tayo, once na kinausap tayo ni client na, hey, I'll get you as my social media manager. These are your roles. These are your tasks. I'm actually expecting this, that. Di po ba? Sinasabi sa atin ni client yun kung anong ine-expect niya sa atin or anong outcome yung gustong makita ni client sa atin. So yung iba, dahil, ay, may nakuha na ako, may graphic design experience siya. So, hindi ko na siguro kailangan i-explain o hindi ko na kailangan i-set yung expectations niya o i-heads up siya sa kung anong ine-expect sa akin ni client. Di po ba? So, afterwards, dahil dyan, let's discuss. Ano ba yung mga pros and consequences ng hiring, no? Or getting an outsource or sa BA. Siyempre, of course, from both sides, no? The BA na nag-outsource at yun namang BA na kumukuha ng mga outsourced task, okay? So, first, let's start with pros. Ito yung sa outsourcer. Ikaw yung nagbibigay ng task, ano? Ikaw yung nagbibigay ng task. So, una, more time, of course, and more time for client strategy or sales. So, mas makakakuha ka ng time mo para makapagkuha ka pa ng ibang client. Kasi yung isang client, let's say, sabi nga, madali lang yung trabaho mo sa kanya, no? Very easy task na ibigay mo, na outsource mo sa iba. So, may open time ka ulit doon, di ba ba? Dahil iba na gumagawa nun sa time mo. So, kukuha ka pa ulit ng isa pang client, right? And then, of course, you get help. Of course, di ba? You get help with parts where you are weak. Yun nga yung sinabi natin example kanina. Halimbawa nga, basic lang talaga yung alam mo in graphic designing, hindi ka ganun ka-expert, but then, since kumuha ka na mag-outsource na well-experienced sa graphic design, naaanuhan niya na yung weakness mo. Di po ba? Siya na yung gumagawa nun. Instead na hindi ka ganun kagaling, or hindi pa ganun kaano yung ideas mo when it comes to designing, siya na. Siya na yung nagpupuno nun para sa'yo, di po ba? And then, of course, it helps you scale without saying no to clients, no? Yun nga po. Basta may client na nag-reach out sa'yo or ikaw mismo yung naghanap ng client, may time ka pa. Pwede ka pang kumuha. Right? So, on the other side, ito naman po yung mga pros for the VA na gumagawa nung ina-outsource na task, no? Of course, we gain experience under a mentor. So, ang mentor natin, yan yung mga VA na nagbigay sa atin ng task. Di po ba? Kasi kanina nga sabi nga, parang preparation again for being a leader dun sa nagbibigay ng task, right? So, you gain experience, especially kung baguhan ka sa becoming a virtual assistant. Magkakaroon ka ng experience based on those tasks. Real task yun na binibigay ng nag-outsource sa'yo. No? So, galing talaga sa client yon. So, magkakaroon ka ng experience. Next is, of course, you practice. Ayan na nga po, real client work na walang pressure on your end. Hindi ikaw yung direct na nakikipag-usap kay client, hindi ikaw yung direct na nag-i-schedule or whatnot. Pinapasa na lang kasi sa'yo. Parang instruction na lang sa'yo, okay, ito na yung gawin mo ngayon. Kailangan ko yung bukas. Something like that. Di po ba? And then, also, ang maganda rin, that it can lead to bigger opportunities. Kasi unang-una, pag nakapag-practice ka na, let's say, aspiring ka pa lang, basic lang yung knowledge mo about being a virtual assistant, how it is to work with a client, magkakaroon ka ng idea right? And then, based sa mga workload na binibigay sa'yo, masasabi mo na kaya mo, right? Kaya mo nang gawin to. So, may opportunity ka na rin para kumuha ng sarili mong client, right? While you are still doing an outsourced VA task, di po ba? So, yun po yung mga pros on both sides now. Let's go to consequences. Of course, pag may pros, meron ding consequences, no? So, ano ba yung mga consequences na yan? So, for the outsourcer, ang consequence niyan if tasks are poorly done, di po ba? If tasks are poorly done, you take the blame. Anong ibig sabihin, no? Let's say, halimbawa nga, sinabi ko kanina, iniisip nyo, ay, expert siya sa graphic designing. Ako kasi hindi. So, sabihin ko lang sa kanya, gawa ka ng design na may ganitong photo, ganito yung nakalagay na text. Hindi mo na in-explain masyado kung ano pa yung gusto mo maging outcome talaga ng isang graphic design niya. Diba? So, pag submit sa'yo, nakita mo, hindi ganun kaayos. Hindi pala tama. Diba? Due ka na. Need na makita ni client. Sinabi ni client sa'yo, send that to me para ma-approve ko, makita ko kung okay sa akin. Tapos nung sinabit mo kay client, kasi you have no time na diba? Isipin mo, baka naman okay na kay client to, diba? Wala na akong time, hindi ko to pwedeng ulitin. O hindi ko na to pwedeng paulit sa kanya kasi need na ni client ngayon. So sabihin sa'yo ni client, this is not what I'm actually expecting. Diba? Bakit ganito yung ginawa mo? Nasaan yung ganito? Bakit walang ganyan? Diba? So, ikaw yung masisisi. Let's say, o sa'yo ibabato ni client yung mga comment niya doon. Right? Hindi yung gumawa. Kasi, unang-una, hindi naman niya direct sa client mo. Diba? Ikaw ang nakaharap sa client mo. So, you take the blame. Right? Next, you may break your client contract unknowingly. Dito, pumapasok dito yung mga nag-outsource na hindi alam ni client, right? Yung mga nag-outsource na hindi sinasabi kay client. So, since sa mga contracts po natin, especially when you're working with an agency, nakalagay po dyan na about confidentiality, right? And yung inyong partnership. The contract is just between you, the virtual assistant, and the client's business. Di po ba? At kayo rin, if you are individually doing your contracts, kailangan din nakalagay yun dun na the contract is just between you and the client, di po ba? So, since may pumasok na iba, di ba? Maaaring may breach of contract na doon, di po ba? And of course, trust and accountability. It's really hard to control, di po ba? Kasi once na, let's say, mapansin ni client, no? Or malaman ni client na someone else is doing the job for you, medyo mahirap nang ibalik ang tiwala sa ni client, di po ba? Kahit na magpaliwanag ka sa kanya, let's say you say, gusto ko lang kasi na magkaroon ng mas magandang output. Okay, since hindi ako ganun ka-experience sa designing, ibinigay ko sa isang expert sa graphic design kasi ang aim ko and ang goal ko is makapag-provide ako ng magandang graphics sa'yo. Right? Kahit na, right? Still, sabi nga, mahirap nang ibalik ang tiwala. Right? Once it's broken, mahirap na po siyang ibalik. And then, ano naman yung consequences alongside doon naman sa nagsasub VA o yung kumukuha ng task, yung mga gumagawa? Una, often underpaid and unnamed. Let's say, kasi syempre, per hour rate niya, let's say, per hour rate niya sa client is, let's say $5, no? $5. Ibibigay niya sa'yo yung trabaho. Diba? Ibibigay niya sa'yo yung trabaho. Hindi naman niya ibibigay sa'yo yung buong $5 niya per hour sa'yo. Kasi, siya pa rin yung di ba? Siya pa rin yung VA ng client. So, sasabihin niya, I'll give you this graphic designing outsource dito sa aking isang client for $2 per hour. Right? $2 per hour ka. Pero ikaw yung experience kumpara doon sa nag-outsource sa'yo. At pag nagustuhan ni client, yung trabaho mo, the credit is not for you. Right? You are unnamed. Hindi naman masasabi ni client na halimbawa, si Nicole, yung pinaka-VA, no? Si Nicole, nag-outsource siya kay John ng trabaho niya. Hindi naman sasabihin ni client, John, good job. John, this is really amazing. Hindi naman ganun. Kasi hindi naman alam ni client na si John yung gumawa nun. So it will still be, Nicole, this is amazing. You've done a really great job. Diba? Kay Nicole na pupunta yung credit. Right? Hindi ka, nasa back end ka. Hindi ka alam. Right? Na nag-i-exist ka pala. Na ikaw pala yung gumawa nun. Right? Next, yun nga, sinabi ko, not credited for the work. hindi ka nakikredit. Hindi nalalaman ng isang client na kaya mo to, magaling ka dito, walang nakakaalam, right? And lastly, you may be ghosted, right? Or unpaid, lalo na pag walang contract. Sabihin mo, ay Coach Nicole, nilalagyan di pala o gumagawa di pala ng contract kahit nag-outsource ka. Of course. Kasi, sabi nga, you are getting someone. And there is an agreement between both of you, di po ba? So, kailangan, may black and white yan. Kailangan may ibigay ka rin na kontrata. Right? At nakasaad din doon lahat ng dapat makuha nitong ina-outsource o yung sila sa VA mo. So, merong mga nangyayaring ganito, no, na pinapagawa ng trabaho, pagkapasa, di mo na ma-reach, di mo na ma-message, right? So, kung kayo, you yourselves have experienced outsourcing, nagbigay na kayo ng trabaho sa ibang VA, or kayo mismo naka-experience na kayo na tumanggap kayo ng trabaho sa ibang VA, comment down, everyone, para naman malaman natin sino na mga naka-experience ng ganito, no? I myself, based on personal experience, naka-experience na akong kumuha. Ako yung sub-VA, kumbaga. Kumuha ng trabaho. Again, naranasan ko lahat ng pros and consequences, including one of the consequences is, syempre, meron niya mga tools, di po ba? Meron mga tools yan, may CRM yan, dinigay niya sa akin, gamit ang kanyang login and password, of course, dahil ako nga yung gagawa ng task para sa kanya, no? At itong task na to is actually calling. So, medyo hamon or challenging kasi may boses eh, di po ba? Dumating pa nga sa point na pinapractice niya sa akin, pinarinig niya sa akin yung boses niya, and she wants me to sound very much like her. Kasi daw, baka mapansin daw ni client pag narinig yung recording, na bakit parang naiba. So, very challenging yun sa part ko kasi I have to really study kung paano niya i-pronounce ang mga words, kung paano siya magsalita. So, binago ko po how I talk over the phone, yung mga pauses niya, yung lahat, inaral ko para lang maging ka-sound like ko siya. Right? So, napaka-challenging noon, but then, trinay ko. Kasi that time, I think, gusto ko ma-experience eh. Parang out of curiosity, gusto ko ma-experience, paano ba yung outsource? So, kinuha ko siya. So, ang naging consequence sa akin is, aside from that, na nahirapan akong agayahin ang boses niya, is yung tools, no? Yung tools sa kanya, it's okay and working. Pagdating sa akin, opo, na-open ko yung account, na-navigate ko naman. But then, yung point na pinagagawa niya sa akin na after, let's say, specific part sa script ko kay client, ito yung i-click ko afterwards. Once na i-click ko po, hindi po pumupunta doon kung saan dapat talaga expected pumunta yung page. So, nangyayari siya every shift ko, no? So, sabi ko sa kanya, bakit ganon? No? Ang hirap, hindi siya pumupunta ron. So, ang nangyayari, nawawala yung client kasi once na i-click mo dapat yon is matatransfer si client to a third party, parang conference. Ang nangyayari, once i-click mo yon, na-hang up, si client nawawala. So, pero sa kanya, pag tinatry naman niya sa kanya, okay naman daw. So, sabi ko, parang hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit kasi wala namang problem sa aking PC. No? Wala namang problema. Hindi ko alam kung bakit gano'n. So, yun po yung mga consequences na naranasan ko on my end. Ano? So, kayo kung may experience din kayo, feel free to share sa comment section natin, everyone, ano, para naman malaman din natin kung ano yung mga na-experience nyo. Yung pros naman, I think, unang-una yun nga, na-practice ko yung gaya ng mga boses, no? Na-practice ko yun, na kaya ko palang ibahin yung boses ko, gayahin ko kung paano yung boses niya. And of course, yung malaman mo din how this specific business works, right? Kung paano ba nila ginagawa ito, ano ba yung mga nandoon sa business na yun. So, yun naman din po yung mga pros na nakuha ko doon. Di ba pa? And then next, let's say, ano ba yung good versus bad outsourcing? Right? So, ito, i-differentiate natin dito kung ano nga ba, coach, yung good and bad outsourcing. So, first, a good example of structured outsourcing, yan po ay good. Okay? So, everyone is credited and paid, and then quality is checked. Anong ibig ko sabihin dyan? Ito yung alam ni client. Now, there is someone else doing this specific task for you. Alam ng client mo. Right? Sinabi mo kay client na, okay, client, kukunin ko yung trabaho mo. But I want to be honest, hindi ako ganun kagaling. right? When it comes to, let's say, graphic designing, yun na lang po gawin nating example. When it comes to graphic designing, I have basic knowledge, I know how to use Canva, but then hindi ganun kaganda pa yung ideas ko as of now. But then I have someone, let's say my sister, okay, hindi na siya lumayo, kapatid niya, let's say. But I have someone, my sister is actually a good graphic designer, and she can really help us out with this. So, pinaalam mo kay client na yung kapatid mo, my sister, it's actually a good graphic design. Right? Parang sasabihin mo kay client na, kapatid ko naman to, kasama ko to dito. So, ma-check ko siya, matuturuan ko kung ano yung ine-expect mo, masasabi natin sa kanya kung anong gusto nating maging outcome. Right? So, alam ni client mo na kapatid mo yung gumagawa so that once magustuhan ni client yung trabaho, your sister is also getting the credit. Right? Now, mention siya ni client, like, let's say, hey, Sarah, thank you so much for this work. It's actually quality, ganyan. Diba? So, na-mention siya at nakikilala siya ni client mo. Now, on the other hand, what is actually a bad example of outsourcing? This is what we call secret outsourcing. And hindi naman sa pag-ano, no, I'm not, don't quote me on my percentage, but I may say 80% out of 100 are really secret outsource. Right? Alam natin yun eh. Di po ba? Nagiging ano na natin yan dito sa virtual assistant. Secret lang. Di ba? Kasi, unang-una nga, ayaw nating masira kay client. Baka sabihin ni client, oh, bakit mo kinuha? Yung business ko, bakit mo ako tinanggap? Eh, hindi ka naman pala experience sa field na to. Tapos kukuha ka ng iba. Right? So, kaya sinisecret lang natin. Hindi na kailangan ipaalam. Right? So, they outsource it to someone else. Right? Didn't quality check. Yan po, ibig sabihin ng QC. Iniklian ko na. This is, they did not quality check the result. Right? And of course, missing the deadline. Yun nga po yung kagaya na example ko kanina. Since gustong-gusto mo, halimbawa, let's say, naku, mayroon nga pala marami akong activities with my friends sa coming weeks. Kailangan makakuha ko ng sub-BA na gagawa nito mga trabaho ko para magkaroon ako ng time na sumama sa mga friends ko. Right? Matagal na namin na plano to eh. So, nakakuha ka, hindi mo na sa sobrang excited mo, yun nga, alam mo, expert ka, okay, pinakita sa yung portfolio, ang ganda mo gumawa. Okay, ikaw na gumawa nito. Hindi mo na na-explain sa kanya, right? Dahil nga secret pati, hindi mo na na-explain eh. Hindi mo na ano sa kanya lahat. Basta sabihin mo, okay, basta I'll pay you something like this per hour mo, ipasa mo sa akin yan. Ganun na po yung nangyayari, right? So, it's always, parang may hidden once it's a secret outsourcing. So, yung ating magiging lesson doon siguro is, let's always tell the client. Ano po? Let's say, open it as a recommendation, as a suggestion. And then, of course, provide yung magiging result nito, just in case you have hired someone, i-outsource mo yung trabaho, explain to your client, right? And then whether your client says yes or no, respect, of course, respect the client's decision. And then, never outsource yung mga tasks na hindi mo naman kayang ma-check, right? Always make sure to check the quality. Kasi yun nga po di ba? Ikaw ang mabe-blame once the client notice na hindi maganda ang outcome ng naging trabaho. Right? And then, do not delegate the core skill. Mismong core skill na hinire ng client sa'yo. Let's say, yun nga, social media manager ka. Diba? Social media manager ka. Ano ba ang core skill niyan? Let's say sabihin ni client sa'yo na being a social media manager sa akin, hindi naman natin focus sa graphics. Let's say, hindi graphics ang focus ni client. Sinabi ni client, let's say, it's the content writing. Mahalaga sa akin yung contents, yung writing ng contents. So, ikaw, yun yung pinaka-role mo kay client, no? So, wag naman yun yung i-outsource mo. Right? Wag yun ang i-outsource mo. Kasi yun yung main role mo eh. Ikaw, hinire ni client dahil doon sa skill mo na yun. Okay? Wag yun yung i-outsource mo. Maybe yun nga, yung graphic designing, i-outsource mo, or let's say scheduling, ikaw na yung magpa-login sa kanya doon sa mga accounts ni client, schedule ka kung kailan mapuposto. Yun na lang. Diba? Wag yung main core. Wag yung main task or niche na binigay sa iyo ni client or hinire ka ni client dahil doon. Di po ba? So, napaka-importante nun na yun yung hindi mo ipapasa, right? So, I'll just use this time for a quick announcement, everyone. So, batch 6 na po, for enrollment ng ating General VA course via, of course, megsdigital.com. Ayan, so batch 6 na po sila for General Virtual Assistants. Those who will be interested, ayan po, from megsdigital.com. And for arribaslearning.com naman, batch 4 for those who want to be a dental VA. So doon naman sa mga gusto mag-dental VA, ayan, batch 4 na po sila sa arribaslearning.com. And of course, sa ating Amazon VA naman, yung gustong maging Amazon VA, of course, you can always see the details po sa amazonvapowerhouse.com. Ayan, so everyone, you will be interested to become a general virtual assistant, dental virtual assistant, or Amazon VA, check nyo lang po yung mga yan dyan, ano? So, marami po kayo matututunan dyan sa mga yan. So, next, let's continue. Ano ba yung mga do's and don'ts of ethical outsourcing, no? So, i-discuss natin una yung mga do's, right? So, unang-una dyan, sabi, ask the client, yun nga, if it's okay to bring in help, right? Suggest mo or recommend mo. If the client says yes, then that's a good thing. If no, then respect, right? Of course, sign a contract with your sub-VA. Sabi ko nga, gawan mo rin ng kontrata yung VA na kukuha ng trabaho para sa'yo para mas malinaw sa inyong dalawa kung ano ba yung pinagkakasunduan nyo, right? And of course, review all output before passing it to the client. Yan ang yung sinasabi ko na pag kumukuha tayo ng sub-VAs or mga VAs na gumagawa ng task natin, nag-outsource tayo, make sure naman equality check natin. Kasi unang-una, meron nga tayong mga outcome na ina-expect ng client sa atin based sa napag-usapan natin, of course. So, i-review nyo naman kung pasok ba yon sa mga hinahanap ni client o inaasahan ni client from us, right? And then, of course, pay fairly naman and on time. Di po ba? Let's say, $5 to make it even na lang, no? To make it even na lang kahit papaano siguro. Or, and then, of course, pag sinabi mo na, oh, yung client ko, binabayaran ako every Monday night, make sure naman na pag na-receive mo naman yung pay mo from client, make sure naman na i-reach out mo agad ang yung ina-outsource mo ng task mo. At isend mo naman sa kanya yung nararapat naman dahil gumawa naman siya, right? And then, of course, guide mo. I-guide mo yung sub-VA mo. Huwag ka lang bigay ng trabaho. Diba? Dahil sasabihin mo, sabi niya naman, expert siya, coach, eh. So, hindi siya kailangan turuan dyan. Mas magaling pa nga siya sa akin, eh, diba? No. Kahit sabihin na natin, mas well-experienced siya sa specific task na binigay mo, guide mo pa rin siya. Kasi nga, hindi siya yung kausap ni client. Hindi siya yung sinabihan ni client ng mga kailangang makita, requirement, expectation. So, i-guide mo siya. Right? I-guide mo pa rin siya. Now, let's go to the side of the don'ts naman, ano? Ito naman yung wag mo namang gagawin when you are outsourcing. Right? Yun na nga. Dahil nga secret outsource most of us, most of the time, nagpe-pretend tayo na sa atin yung trabaho. Right? So, pretend it's your work if it's not. Sabi nga. Kasi nga, sinikret mo eh. Hindi mo inopen sa client mo na you are getting someone for help. Right? And then, subcontract without permission. Yun na nga, wala kang paalam sa client mo na kukuha ka ng someone. Right? And then, underpay. Yun na nga, $5 ka, sabihin mo, $2 ka lang or $1 ka lang, ay mas nakakaano yun, $1 ka lang. Kasi sabihin mo, Diyos ko, konti lang na may binigay ko sa'yo, no? Okay na yung $1 per hour mo, 8 hours ka naman eh, di ba? Yung parang ganun. So, underpay naman masyado yung kinuha mong outsource VA o yung nag-sub na sa'yo. And then, ito, since yun nga, hindi mo na-explain sa kanya ang expectation ng client mo, ano ba yung gusto ng client mo makita doon sa trabaho na yun, sisisihin mo ngayon siya. Diba? Kung bukas na yung submission mo nung kay client, sinend sa'yo nung VA na in-outsource mo ngayon, ang daming mali, ang daming kailangang baguhin. And nakita mo na hindi na aabot kapag pinabago mo pa sa kanya, sisisihin mo ngayon siya. Hindi dapat ganito eh, ba't ganito yung ginawa mo? Wala ka naman explanation sa kanya, di ba? Hindi niya naintindihan kung anong kailangan mo. So, sisisihin mo yung in-outsource mong VA. And of course, do not let the client find out from someone else. Yan na po yun, no? Sasabihin natin, hindi naman siguro malalaman ni client coach kasi imposible, wala naman siya nakakausap, di ba? Hindi naman niya pwedeng kausapin tong in-outsource ko. We never know. Sabi nga, no? Kung ano man yung tinatago, di ba? Eventually, it will come out. Diba? And then, paano mo ngayon i-explain kay client mo yun? Na kunwari, it's been 6 months na pala na iba pala yung gumagawa ng trabaho. right? So, depende na lang yan sa paano tatanggapin ng kliyente mo. Let's say, napakaswerte mo, maintindihan ka ng kliyente mo. That's good. But then, if hindi magustuhan ng client mo dahil unang-una, may confidentiality sa businesses ni client, datas nila, everything about the business, it's confidential. And kaya nga kayo may contract just between you and the client. So, ina-expect ni client all along, ikaw lang nakakita ng lahat ng yon, ikaw lang na nakakaalam, but then yung pala, may ibang tao na, right, na involved sa business ni client nang wala siyang kaalam-alam. So, of course, those are the don'ts of ethical outsourcing, right? Let's move on to the next. Ayan. Of course, sabi nga, clients are hiring you for your own judgment. Diba? Sabi nga ni client kaya ka hinahire. Kasi most of the time, ang mga clients natin, no, hinahire tayo kasi they need help. Diba nga? They need help. Halimbawa, hindi naman sila ganun ka-tech savvy na kaya nilang social media manager ng sarili nilang business, gumawa ng sarili nilang page, TikTok, IG account, YouTube, Spotify. Diba? Hindi sila ganun ka-techy. Marunong lang sila pero hindi nila alam kung paano yung gagawin. Diba? Paano sila magkaka-output, paano nila ma-schedule to, anong tools or app ba gagamitin nila, paano ba mag-graphic design. So, kinukuha ka nila para matulungan mo sila. Meaning to say, most of our clients kasi, no, pag kinakausap natin sila, if you've experienced working with a client, nagtatanong sila what do you think? Do you think this is good? I have this idea, sa tingin mo, gagawin ko to. Diba? Hinahire ka nila so that they will have someone, diba, to decide with them. And of course, yun nga, yung judgment mo, yung kaya ka kinuha ni client, dahil nga unang-una na rin sa skills mo, sa expertise mo, and of course, yung help na maibibigay mo sa business ni client, di ba? Kaya ka niya hinahire. Right? So let's say, let's outsource naman with integrity. Di ba? Let's outsource with integrity. I-open mo yan. Pag sinabi ng client mo na, I'm sorry, I just want you to be the one doing the task. Irespeto natin. Ano po? Irespeto natin. Kasi yun nga, it's really hard. Unang-una, napakahirap kumuha ng legit client. And once you landed a legit client, take care of your client. Okay? Take care of your client and your client's business. Always. Always po. No? So if you wanted to outsource, just let your client know. Mention it. Let's say as a recommendation, as a suggestion. Right? Some clients naman, pag maganda naman yung pagkaka-explain mo sa kanila, na ipaliwalag mo naman kung bakit okay na kumuha tayo ng tulong sa ibang tao or I'll have someone to do this for us. Pag na-explain mo naman ang tama yan, maiintindihan ka ni client mo. And your client might say yes. Let's say, I think that's a good idea. Sige, i-outsource mo itong specific mo para makapag-focus ka dito. Right? Kasi mga clients din naman natin, nakakaintindi naman po sila. Especially kung ma-explain mo naman po sa kanila ng tama. Diba? Maintindihan nila na, okay, sige. So, paano yung payment niyan? Ma-explain mo na, no worries, hindi mo kailangan siyang bayaran, ako na. I'll take it from my rate, my salary. Mga ganon, di ba? Or napakaswerte mo if your client will say, okay, no worries, I'll pay him or her directly. Di ba? Napakaganda no kung maging ganon pa yung mangyaring ninyo with your client, right? So, also, I'd like to take this time then before we almost end our segment tonight to also mention that, of course, the Next VA Solutions also has training courses open as always. So just reach out to me po whenever you are interested as well. And of course, all subscribe to our YouTube channel po at the VA Radio. Okay, mas marami po tayong segments doon at mas maraming mga insights and ideas na makukuha natin from different topics din. And of course, ang ating VA Radio page na maraming segment tayo every day. Daily po yan, maraming segments all about being a virtual assistant. So you can always subscribe and follow ang ating VA Radio page. And of course, sabi nga, I'll end this na lang with something that you guys can do a self-realization, right? So the bottom line, actually, outsourcing is not really bad, right? Outsourcing is not really bad. what's bad if we do it unethically, right? If we do it unethically. So make sure to outsource with integrity. Nakalagay nga dyan. Of course, communication, idagdag na rin natin, and accountability, right? So again, the clients are hiring you for your judgment, right? Make sure to outsource with integrity. Okay, so thank you everyone for listening and for joining us tonight here on our The VA Matchmaker. Of course, I'll see you again on the next episode. And thank you so much for your time. And again, General VA Batch 6 na po tayo for megsdigital.com, and Batch 4 for arrivaslearning.com for dental VA. And of course, for Amazon VA, visit amazonvapowerhouse.com. So thank you everyone, and I hope that I was able to provide you again ideas, advices, and of course, little ideas about how it is to outsource your task. So thank you so much. This has been your coach, Nicole. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Episode of the VA Matchmaker. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to join us next time for more insider tips and strategies to help you land your dream clients or find the perfect VA. Don't forget to follow us on social media to stay updated and catch the next episode live on the VA Radio. Stay tuned for more from the VA Matchmaker, where skills meet opportunity, only on the VA Radio. Keep it light.